The phone vibrates in Jonah Hale's pocket. He hesitates before looking. Unknown number. Another message pops up. Check your bank account. Now. His hands shake as he unlocks his phone. The numbers blur before his eyes. His stomach drops. Jonah Hale, majority shareholder of Kane Industries. He stumbles back, almost knocking over his chair. Coffee sloshes across his hand. He can't breathe. He's a street cleaner, invisible. Nobody would notice if he disappeared. And yet, here it is. He owns one of the largest corporations in the country. How? Why him? He leans against the counter, phone trembling in his hand. Another buzz. We need to talk. Now. His head snaps up. Outside, rain lashes the streets, neon signs reflecting off puddles. He can't ignore this. Jonah walks through the lobby, mop forgotten. The polished tiles echo under his boots. His reflection shivers in the glass doors, a distorted version of himself. Small, unprepared, overwhelmed. A shadow moves behind, him in the reflection. He freezes. Focus. Just the floor. Just breathe, he thinks. But the buzz in his pocket keeps repeating, each vibration like a heartbeat he can't control. HR summons him into a small office. Walls too bright, air too still. A laptop hums softly on the desk. Jonah hesitates. The assistant looks at him, voice low, tense. Jonah, please, just look at this. His fingers hover. He presses the key. Documents scroll across the screen. Legal filings, shareholder agreements. Jonah Hale, majority shareholder of Kane Industries. He staggers back. His pulse thunders in his ears. What? How? His voice shakes, barely a whisper. Outside, a car idles. Engine hums low. Jonah swallows hard. Something isn't right. Someone is watching. Later, Jonah sits in a small cafe, hands curled around a cooling cup of coffee. Rain pours outside. He wants to convince himself it's a mistake, that he can ignore it. But another message arrives. We need to talk, now. His heart races. He looks at the people outside, pacing, hurrying, rushing through their own lives, and wonders if anyone would even care if he disappeared. I didn't ask for this, he thinks. I just wanted to be invisible. The rain picks up, slapping against the glass, a sharp contrast to the pounding in his chest. Jonah's phone buzzes again. This time he answers. A voice, calm and clipped, almost rehearsed. Jonah Hale, we need to meet. It's urgent. Jonah swallows. Of course it's urgent. Everything about this is urgent. He arrives at a sleek office building. Security scans him once, twice. He's invisible, yet somehow not. He rides the elevator up, heart hammering. Floor after floor passes. Finally, a door opens, and he steps into a modern office. Mara Ellison waits behind a desk, papers stacked neatly. Her coat is damp from the rain outside. You're the new majority shareholder, she says, voice calm but tense. Jonah blinks. I don't understand. How? Let's start here, she says, sliding a set of documents across the desk. There are conditions, responsibilities. You can't just take over. Someone's already noticed. Jonah stares at the papers. His pulse accelerates again. He's a man with no experience, no preparation, suddenly responsible for thousands of people. I don't even know where to start, he whispers. A notification buzzes on Mara's laptop. She glances at it. Her brow tightens. Jonah notices, tension prickling. She hesitates, then looks back. This isn't just about money, she says quietly. It's about people, about consequences. Every decision you make now, someone else feels it first. Jonah swallows. The weight presses down. He thought life was hard before. Invisible, small, unnoticed. Now he's huge, too huge, and dangerous in ways he can't even measure. The office window rattles as a gust of wind hits. Outside, the city lights blur through, sheets of rain. Jonah leans against the desk, fighting to keep his balance, physically and mentally. What if I mess this up? His voice cracks. Mara meets his gaze, unwavering. Then the world tells you very quickly. Jonah exhales. He wants to run, to hide, to disappear back into the streets where he belonged. But something inside him tightens. Curiosity, fear, maybe responsibility. It's hard to separate them. I didn't ask for this life, he thinks again. But I can't walk away. Not now. A soft buzz. Another message. We're watching. Every move counts. Jonah freezes, eyes wide. He didn't know who "we" was. He didn't know if he wanted to. But he knows one thing. There's no turning back. Not after this. The rain keeps falling, the city moving, and Jonah Hale takes his first real step into a world he never thought he'd enter. One of power, betrayal, and consequences that reach farther than he can see. Jonah sits across from Mara, the stack of papers between them feeling heavier than the rain outside. He stares at the fine print, numbers and clauses blurring together. Why me? He asks, voice low, almost pleading. Why would this happen to someone like me? Mara doesn't answer immediately. Her fingers drum lightly on the desk. The soft rhythm matches the distant hum of the city outside. You were chosen. By mistake, by chance, or by something else, she says finally. But it's real, and now you have to act. Jonah shakes his head. I don't know what act even means. I can't run a company. I don't know anything about this world. Then you'll learn, Mara replies, eyes sharp. Or you'll break it. Either way, someone will get hurt. Jonah looks down at his hands, trembling. He can feel the weight of every life tied to those documents. Employees, shareholders, entire departments. He's responsible for all of it. And he's never been responsible for anything in his life. A soft buzz. His phone lights up again. Another unknown number. He glances at Mara, who watches him silently. Ignore it or answer it. He hesitates, thumb hovering over the screen. Finally, he answers. A voice comes through, calm, deliberate. Jonah Hale, we know you received the documents. You have our attention now. Jonah freezes. Who is this? You'll find out soon enough, the voice says, then the line goes dead. Jonah leans back in his chair, heart hammering. Mara's gaze flicks to the door, then back at him. They're watching, she says softly. Every move, every call, every choice. He swallows. I didn't ask for this. I just wanted to clean floors, stay invisible. Mara leans forward, voice firm. Invisible people are easy to ignore, until they hold power. A chill runs down his spine. Jonah feels the office closing in, walls narrowing, the documents between them suddenly suffocating. He glances at Mara again. Can I trust you? Her eyes meet his. A long pause. I'm here to guide you, but you'll have to make the choices yourself. Some will hurt, some will confuse you, some will betray you. Jonah exhales, barely audible. I don't even know where to start. The rain outside intensifies. Water streaks the window, creating strange patterns on the polished floor. Jonah's gaze follows the lines, thinking about all the paths he could take, all the wrong moves, all the consequences. His phone buzzes again. Another message. Meet him. Tonight. Don't be late. Jonah swallows hard. He's not sure who him is, but the urgency prickles at the edge of his nerves. Mara notices his hesitation. You have no choice, she says, standing. Her coat drips wet onto the floor. The longer you wait, the more dangerous it becomes. And not just for you. Jonah stands, legs stiff, trying to match her calm, but failing. Every instinct screams to run, hide, deny it all, but curiosity and fear chain him to the moment. "Okay," he says finally. "I'll go, but I still don't understand anything." Mara gives a small nod, almost imperceptible. "You will. Just don't underestimate him." Later, Jonah walks through the streets at night. Neon lights reflect off puddles, rain still falling. The city feels alive, watching, judging. Every pedestrian passing seems to whisper secrets he can't hear. A man steps out of the shadows, tall, coat soaked. Jonah freezes. "You're Jonah Hale?" the man asks, voice calm, slightly amused. Yes," Jonah replies cautiously. "I'm Elias," the man says. "I've been expecting you. There's a lot you don't know, and even more you need to realize. Fast." Jonah swallows. Who are you working for?" Elias smiles faintly, shoulders slumping as though carrying some weight. "Let's just say I've been watching, guiding, and sometimes protecting. But you'll need to decide soon who to trust." Jonah steps back, heart hammering. Rain runs down his coat. He's being pulled deeper into something he doesn't understand. Every step feels like it could be a trap. I don't even know where to start," Jonah mutters, almost to himself. "You start by realizing," Elias says, voice low, "that nothing is simple anymore. Not power, not responsibility, not loyalty. And sometimes the people closest to you can hurt the most." Jonah's stomach twists. He looks at Elias, then at the wet street stretching into darkness. Every choice from this point forward could destroy him or someone else. Another soft buzz. Jonah's phone lights up. Mara's name flashes. "Be careful. Every decision changes everything." He looks at Elias. I guess I don't have a choice." Elias shrugs, almost sadly. "You always have a choice, but some choices leave scars you can't see yet." The rain falls harder. Jonah walks on, hands shaking, mind spinning. The city hums around him, indifferent, but full of danger. He's no longer invisible, and there's no turning back. Jonah doesn't sleep that night. He lies on his back, staring at the ceiling, listening to the building breathe. Pipes clicking, distant sirens, a neighbor's TV bleeding laughter through the wall. Every sound feels too loud, too intentional, like the city is leaning in to hear what he'll do next. His phone rests on his chest. Screen dark. Silent. That silence is worse than the messages. At dawn, it vibrates. One word. "Today." Jonah exhales slowly, sits up, rubs his face with both hands. His palms are damp. He hasn't even decided what today means, but apparently someone else already has. He showers without really feeling the water. The mirror shows a version of him that looks the same, but something in his eyes doesn't line up anymore. Less softness, more alert, like an animal that's learned the shape of a trap. By the time he steps outside, the rain has stopped. The city looks clean, washed, almost forgiving. That makes it worse. The building Elias sends him to doesn't look important. No glass tower, no logo, just concrete, narrow windows, a security guard who doesn't ask Jonah's name before waving him through. Inside, the air smells like metal and recycled cold. Elias is already there, leaning against a conference table, jacket off, sleeves rolled. He looks tired in a way that doesn't come from lack of sleep. "You came," Elias says. Jonah shrugs. "Didn't feel optional." "It never does at first." They sit. No pleasantries. No small talk. The table between them is empty, which somehow makes Jonah feel exposed. Elias studies him for a moment. "Before we go any further, you should know something. What you inherited. It wasn't meant to exist this long." Jonah blinks. What does that mean? It means the company you now own was supposed to collapse quietly. A controlled failure. Payouts. Clean exits. Elias pauses. Your name stopped that. Jonah leans back. My name was on a janitor's badge. And on a document someone forgot to update. The words land wrong. Jonah laughs once, sharp and humorless. So I'm an error. Yes, Elias says calmly. But errors change systems. Jonah's chest tightens. People are calling me, watching me. You're telling me this is because someone didn't do their job. Elias doesn't look away. I'm telling you it's because someone did their job too well. Later, Jonah sits alone in a waiting room while Elias handles something. The walls are bare. No art, no clocks. Time stretches thin. His phone buzzes again. Mara. Where are you? Her message reads. He hesitates. Types. Deletes. Types again. Meeting someone you warned me about. 3 dots appear. Disappear. Then, leave. Now. His stomach drops. Another message follows immediately. You don't understand who Elias works for. Jonah looks up. The door at the end of the hall is still closed. No sound from inside. He types back. Then tell me. The reply takes longer this time. He doesn't work for them. He works against whoever's winning. Jonah stares at the screen. That doesn't clarify anything. It just makes everything heavier. The door opens. Elias steps out, face unreadable. You ready? Elias asks. Jonah stands slowly. Depends. Ready for what? For the part where you stop being passive. They walk through the building, deeper than Jonah expects. Downstairs, through keycard doors. The air gets colder. Elias stops in front of a glass wall. Beyond it, servers, racks and cables and blinking lights. A quiet, constant hum that feels alive. This is where decisions become permanent, Elias says. Data doesn't forget. Jonah swallows. Why are you showing me this? Because someone else is going to ask you to shut it down. Jonah turns. Shut it down how? Elias meets his eyes. Explosively. The word hangs. Jonah laughs again, louder this time. No, that's not... This isn't a movie. Elias steps closer. People lose jobs, Jonah. Pensions, medical coverage, supply chains break, all without a single bomb. You just don't see the blast. Jonah's hands curl into fists. I won't do it. I didn't say you would, Elias replies. I said you'd be asked. As if on cue, Jonah's phone vibrates. Unknown number. He answers, breath shallow. Hello? A woman's voice this time. Calm, polished, smiling through the sound. Mr. Hale, we're running out of patience. Jonah's throat tightens. I don't even know what you want. We want what you accidentally stole, she says. Control. Elias watches Jonah closely, like he's studying a fracture spreading. You have until tonight, the voice continues. If you don't cooperate, the fallout will be public. Very public. The call ends. Jonah lowers the phone slowly. They're threatening to ruin me. Elias tilts his head. They're threatening to ruin everyone around you first. Jonah closes his eyes. For a second, he imagines the cleaning crew from his old job, the security guard who shared snacks, people who trusted systems they never saw. When he opens his eyes, something has shifted. What happens if I refuse? Jonah asks. Elias answers quietly. They'll take pieces of your life until there's nothing left you recognize. Jonah nods once. And if I agree? Elias exhales. Then you become the kind of person you never thought you could be. Night falls again. Jonah meets Mara on a rooftop overlooking the city. Wind tugs at her coat. The lights below flicker like a living map of consequences. You should have listened, she says, not looking at him. I did, Jonah replies. I just listened to more than one voice. She turns sharply. That's how people get killed. Jonah steps closer. You knew more than you told me. Mara's jaw tightens. I knew enough to be afraid. So did I, Jonah says. Still am. They stand there, the distance between them charged. They want me to destroy something, Jonah continues. Not with a bomb, with a decision. Mara finally meets his eyes. There's something like grief there. And are you going to? Jonah looks out at the city, at the millions of lives humming beneath them. I don't know yet, he says. But whatever I choose, I don't think I come back from it. Mara's voice softens. None of us do. Jonah's phone vibrates one last time. A countdown. 004712. He pockets the phone, breath steady now, too steady. Tonight, he says, everything changes. The wind howls across the rooftop as the timer keeps ticking down, unseen, unforgiving. The timer keeps running. Jonah watches the seconds peel away like skin. He doesn't check the number anymore. He can feel it in his chest now, a tightness that won't loosen no matter how slow he breathes. Elias's message comes through without warning. Decision window is closing. Come alone. Jonah stares at the screen. Alone. That word feels intentional. He types back. Where? The reply is instant. A location pin. Industrial district. Old infrastructure. The kind of place the city pretends it already forgot. The car ride there feels unreal. Streetlights smear across the windshield. Jonah's reflection flickers in the glass. Distorted. Unfamiliar. He keeps thinking about how yesterday his biggest worry was overtime pay. How simple fear used to be. He parks beside a building that looks half abandoned. One light burns inside, high up, steady. Inside, the space opens into a massive room. Concrete floors, exposed beams, power humming somewhere deep in the walls. Elias stands near a table. A laptop is open. Beside it, a small black case. You're early, Elias says. Jonah doesn't answer. He looks at the case instead. That's it, isn't it? Elias nods. The switch, not a bomb. Cleaner. Jonah steps closer, eyes never leaving it. You said someone else would ask me to do this. They did, Elias says. I'm just making sure you understand how. Jonah laughs under his breath. So you're not stopping it. You're facilitating. Elias's jaw tightens. I'm minimizing damage. By destroying everything quietly, Jonah snaps. Elias meets his gaze. By choosing who gets hurt. The words hit harder than any threat so far. Jonah's phone buzzes again. Mara. He hesitates, then answers. Tell me you're not there, she says, breathless. Jonah looks at Elias, at the case. I'm here. A pause, then quieter. Then you need to listen very carefully. Elias watches Jonah's face change. What? Jonah asks. Mara swallows. I found the original ownership trail, the reason your name was still there. Jonah's pulse spikes. And Elias didn't forget to remove it, she says. He put it there. The room feels like it tilts. Jonah turns slowly toward Elias. Is that true? Elias doesn't deny it. I needed someone they wouldn't see coming, Elias says. Someone disposable, someone they'd underestimate. Jonah's hands shake. You used me. Yes, Elias says, then softer. But I also gave you a chance. Jonah laughs, raw and broken. A chance to erase people. To stop something worse, Elias counters. Mara's voice cuts in, sharp. Jonah, he's lying. The collapse triggers secondary systems, hospitals, utilities. He knows that. Elias looks annoyed now. You shouldn't be on this call. Mara snaps back. You shouldn't be breathing near him. Jonah steps away from the table, trying to ground himself. Both of you stop. Silence falls. He presses his palm to his forehead. You're asking me to choose between invisible victims and visible ones, between blood I see and blood I don't. Elias says nothing. Mara whispers, You don't have to choose this. Jonah looks up. If I don't, they'll choose for me. The timer vibrates in his pocket. Final warning. Elias opens the case. Inside, a simple device. No wires, no drama, just a button. This ends leverage, Elias says. After tonight, they can't touch you. Jonah steps closer. And what do you get? Elias hesitates, just for a second. Jonah notices. What do you get? Jonah repeats. Elias exhales. I get to finish something I started. That's not an answer. Elias's voice drops. I get redemption. Jonah almost laughs. Almost. Suddenly, the lights flicker. Mara's voice sharpens. Jonah, someone else is in the system. Elias spins. That's impossible. Mara types furiously on her end. No, it's not. Someone's piggybacking the trigger. Jonah's stomach drops. Meaning? Meaning if you press it, Mara says. You won't be the only one pulling the cord. Elias's face hardens. She's bluffing. I'm not, Mara snaps. Someone wants the chaos, not the cleanup. Jonah looks between them. Helper, antagonist, betrayer. The lines blur. So if I do nothing, Jonah says slowly, they trigger it anyway. Yes, Mara says. And if I press it, Jonah continues, I share responsibility. Elias nods once. But you control the timing. The timer hits 0. Nothing happens. Jonah laughs, breathless. That's it? Elias's eyes widen. No. The building shudders. A low, distant rumble. Power surges through the walls. Mara shouts through the phone. They bypassed you. Jonah, it's happening. Elias grabs the case. We can still redirect it. Partial shutdown. Jonah grabs Elias's wrist. You said clean. Elias yanks free. I said survivable. The room fills with alarms. Red lights strobe. The hum becomes a scream. Jonah makes a decision. He lunges, not for the button, but for the laptop, slams it shut, rips cables free with bare hands. Sparks bite into his skin. Elias shouts, You don't know what you're doing. Jonah grits his teeth. Neither did you. The lights go out. Darkness. Silence. Then sirens, distant and growing. Jonah stands there, chest heaving, hands burned, heart pounding like it might tear loose. Mara's voice crackles weakly through the phone. Jonah, what did you do? Jonah looks at the dead screens, at Elias, staring at him like he's seeing him for the first time. I chose, Jonah says quietly. Outside, the city begins to react, and Jonah realizes something with chilling clarity. No matter what survives this night, the world will know his name by morning. Sirens bleed into the morning. Jonah sits on the curb outside the building, hands wrapped in a borrowed jacket, skin blistered and blackened where sparks kissed him. Emergency lights paint everything red, then blue, then red again. Each flash feels like an accusation. Across the street, Elias is being loaded into an unmarked vehicle. No cuffs, no shouting, just quiet efficiency. He doesn't look at Jonah. That hurts more than if he had. Mara pushes through the crowd and drops beside Jonah. She doesn't ask if he's okay. She already knows the answer. You're trending, she says softly. Jonah huffs a laugh that turns into a cough. Already? She shows him her phone. Headlines scroll faster than he can read. Unknown shareholder. Halts corporate collapse power grids. Stable but data loss confirmed. Who is Jonah Hale? Jonah closes his eyes. How bad is it? Mara hesitates. Hospital stayed online. Transit too. But A lot of money vanished. Records erased. People are furious. People are always furious, Jonah mutters. No, she says. This time, they know who to blame. 3 days later, Jonah stands in a borrowed suit in a room full of cameras. The walls are white. Too white. The kind of room where nothing is meant to feel human. A woman steps up to the podium before he can speak. Government badge. Controlled smile. Mr. Hale acted independently, she says. No evidence suggests. Jonah steps forward. That's not true. The room stills. Mara's eyes widen from the side. Jonah grips the edge of the podium. His voice shakes, but he doesn't stop. They're telling you I was reckless, that I didn't understand what I was doing. He swallows. I understood enough. The woman leans in, whispering urgently, but Jonah shakes his head. I was given a choice, he continues. A clean collapse that no one would see, or a messy interruption everyone would feel. Cameras zoom in. I chose the mess, Jonah says. Because silence is how people disappear. A murmur ripples through the room. The woman steps back. Too late now. Later, alone in a quiet hallway, Jonah sinks onto a bench. The adrenaline fades, leaving something heavier behind. Mara sits beside him. You didn't have to do that. I know. They're going to make you a symbol. Jonah stares at his hands, still healing. I already am. She watches him carefully. Do you regret it? He thinks of Elias, of the button, of the moment everything went dark. I regret that there was ever a version of me who thought he didn't matter enough to choose, Jonah says. Mara nods, eyes shining. You're not invisible anymore. Jonah exhales. That's the problem. Weeks pass. The company survives, fractured but breathing. Boards reshuffle, lawsuits stack. Jonah signs papers he barely understands, each signature pulling him further from the man he was. One night, he stands alone in his old apartment, boxes half packed. The walls feel smaller now. His phone buzzes. Unknown number. He almost ignores it. Almost. A text appears. You did what I couldn't, Jonah types back slowly. You used me. 3 dots. Then, yes. Jonah stares at the screen. And I'd do it again, the message continues. So would you. Jonah locks the phone, sets it down face first. For a long moment, he just stands there, listening to the city outside. Still breathing, still alive. On the roof, Jonah looks out over the lights. Once, this view made him feel small. Now, it makes him feel responsible. He thinks about how close he came to erasing people he would never meet. How easy it was to almost press the button. How tempting it felt to let someone else decide. Power didn't arrive with fireworks. It arrived quietly, patiently, waiting to see who he'd become. Jonah exhales, slow and steady. He doesn't know if he's a good man. He only knows he's no longer a bystander. And as the city hums below him, the question settles in. When the system finally puts the choice in your hands, do you protect yourself, or do you accept the cost of being seen?